The assassination of Minnesota's top House Democrat this weekend has led to calls across our country to tone down that political rhetoric. This is Breaking the News. I'm Jana Shortle. Melissa Hortman had the same request the last time she talked to Danny Spiewak, which was 2 days before she died. Danny?
Well, Jana, I met with Melissa Hortman in her office at the Capitol last Thursday, 2 days before her murder. We talked about a lot of things in that last interview, the budget, the special session that just ended, the 2026 elections, but I also asked her about social media's role in campaigns. The answer to that question was perhaps the most enlightening. After finishing the state budget, Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman invited me into her office last Thursday for a customary post-session interview.
Okay, Representative Melissa Hortman, Speaker Emerita.
Great. Our conversation largely focused on how the divided legislature managed to complete a budget.
When we were putting together the budget deal, I wasn't thinking a lot about politics or elections. I was thinking about what is the best deal we can put in place for the state.
Toward the end, though, we changed the subject to social media and how parties use them in campaigns.
Is that something you've made a concerted effort with, or?
Yeah, well, I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm a little bit older than the generation that's really good at social media. It's interesting to me. I wonder if social media didn't just peak a year or two ago and people are starting to talk to each other again, because I think we've all figured out that on social media, what you see is a reflection of your smallest social circle. So my hope is there's going to be a little bit of a resurgence of more mainstream media, but also just people having conversations with each other and not staring at their screens.
That answer is particularly enlightening given what happened after her assassination less than 48 hours later. In social media posts, Republican U.S. Senator Mike Lee of Utah seemed to make light of Hortman's murder, with references to Marxists and Governor Walz.
Do you regret your tweet?
Lee has since taken the post down after members of the media and Minnesota's U.S. Senator Tina Smith confronted him on Capitol Hill.
This is not a joke. And he needs to understand over 7 million people dialed into his message on social media. He has a powerful platform. He should not be using it to spread misinformation.
Minnesota Republicans also widely denounced Lee, including State Representative Harry Niska, one of the top Republicans in the House. Senator, I agree with you on many issues, but this is a very bad take on so many levels, he said. You should reconsider this one. Speaking more broadly about political rhetoric, Republican State Senator Zach Duckworth also called on everyone to do better.
Seek to take the temperature down, be very mindful of the words that we use, the things that we say, and just remember at the end of the day, we're all neighbors, we're all Minnesotans, we've all got families and loved ones, and let that be what we see first.
Which goes back to what Melissa Hortman said about social media last week in one of her final public statements.
I think we've had a phase of an addiction as a society to these little screens, and people are tired of it and breaking away from that, and I think that's healthy.
In our interview, Hortman also praised the work of the Democratic and Republican co-chairs in the House who worked side by side this year, and of course the House was tied 67-67 this session. And Hortman expressed hope that maybe that same model of the co-chairs would work well again next session. Jana.
It's just so hard to, watch that interview, which I know you did, Danny, there's a lot of it that we don't share, and I know you sat with her to do that interview. Is there anything that you took from it? Was it difficult to watch? Anything that you felt while you were watching it?
It's hard to watch back because it had been so recent. It was just 48 hours before all of this happened, and I think I took away that she did express some optimism. It had been such a hard session with everything that happened with the tie and the beginning of the session, but she had hope that state government was going to work well again next year when they all came back, and that the world was going to be a better place, and I think that's what I took away from that conversation.
Hopeful to the end. Thanks so much, Danny. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.